Hello there everyone, in today's video we're going to take a look at mileage expenses and mileage claims. Now I think a lot of people who are in business will be very familiar with mileage claims, even those who are not in business, who work for other people, who are employees and work, go on business travel in their own car. They claim mileage back from their employer. So whether you're an employee working for someone else or you have your own company and you have a car that's outside of your limited company, you'll be used to claiming mileage. So just to recap, let's start off with an example. 20,000 business miles in a car that you own personally, separate from your limited company. So let's assume now that we're talking about Mr. X, who owns ABC Limited, making widgets. There's 20,000 business miles. What can he claim for mileage payments? Well, you get the first 10,000 miles at 45p, and then anything above it at 25p. So that is 10,000 at 45, 10,000 at 25 works out at £7,000. So £7,000. So that is an amount that he can take out of his limited company tax-free, because he's used a personal car for business expense, 7,000, and the company gets tax deduction of 7,000 against its profits. Goes in the profit and loss account under motor and travel, £7,000 tax deduction. So, very good. CT relief, DLA, credit. We'll talk about director's loan account. Doesn't have to be paid out straight away. You can credit his director's loan account to be then taken out in the future. But the point is, it's a tax deductible expense, and you get your hands on the money that the company owes you. But what and I think most people are familiar with that. I would say the vast majority of business owners know about this. But what a lot of people don't know about is that you can also claim VAT back on those payments, those mileage payments, to the director. So let's have a look at an example. What about VAT? So specifically now, we're looking at various things that HMRC issue. Every quarter, HMRC issue what's known as AFRs, Advisory Fuel Rates. And these are basically pence per mile to pay just the fuel bit. Now remember, when it comes to mileage claims, the 45p is meant to cover petrol, wear and tear, repairs, MOT, all that kind of stuff. But in these separate tables that HMRC produce, and they update them every quarter, these is for the purposes of the VAT claim that I'm going to tell you about. So, and they release these informations based on the engine size of the car. So let's just take an example. Let's assume that this car, which remember the guy owned personally, which he's already claimed the mileage, but I'm saying there's something else we can claim. We'll get some VAT back. Look at the tables. 2 litre petrol car, 16 pence per mile. So this is just a fuel part of this. So what you do is you say, right, how many business miles has this guy done? Well, we've already said it's 20,000. So you'd multiply 20,000 by the 16 pence per mile given in the advisory fuel rates, which is £3,200. Now, that's on an annual basis. I'm assuming here that is 20,000 miles is split linear. So every quarter, we're going to split it. So that's £800 per quarter. Also assume that the 16p a mile hasn't changed. Like I said, they get updated every quarter. So it could be 14p, 15p, 16p. But assuming, for ease of the explanation, it stays constant for a full year. In this case, 2 litre engine, 16p per mile, and he drives 20,000 a year, equally in 4 quarters. That's 5,000 miles a quarter. So 16p a mile multiplied through 800 per quarter. Now, the VAT that the company can reclaim on those mileage payments over here is 1/6 times 800, which is £133. 1/6 is the VAT fraction when you work backwards. So most people are familiar with the the 20% when you add on 20% to go from net to gross. But when you work backwards to go from gross to net, the bit that's the VAT is 1/6 of the gross. So the VAT element is 1/6 of 800, which is £133, which over 4 quarters is £533 per annum. So, like I said, I think a lot of people don't know about this. A lot of people know about this. So yes, you can have your 7,000 tax deduction for corporation tax, but this is also VAT that you get back. So what would happen is that you put this claim in. Technically speaking, you would adjust the motor and expense charge in the P&L to reflect the fact that you're actually claiming some VAT back, so you get slightly less corporation tax relief, but the VAT that you're getting back more than outweighs the reduction in the corporation tax relief for putting in this VAT claim. So do yourself a favor. If you're a business owner, you've got an SME business and you're already paying yourself a mileage rate, claim back some VAT. So then the next question is, what do you keep in terms of records? So this is where it comes down to petrol receipts, and it's the only area in the whole VAT world that, off the top of my head, that I can think of where you don't have to have VAT invoices that exactly mirror the amount of VAT that you're claiming back. What do I mean by that? Well, if you think about it, if you've got petrol receipts every time you go to the garage, and of course you're using this car for business and for personal, and all these receipts are going to add up, and you're going to have all sorts of different amounts every time you fill up, and when you add up all of the VAT, it's not going to come to exactly this figure, but that's all right, because HMRC say as long as it comes to at least that figure, that's fine as far as they're concerned if you ever got a VAT visit. So keep the petrol receipts, keep enough petrol receipts where if you add up all the VAT element of those receipts, it comes to at least the amount of VAT that you're claiming back. That's all you need to do. But like I said, the two aren't going to match. You're just going to have a stack of receipts, the total of which has to at least equal the amount you're claiming. All right, so overview there on claiming VAT back on mileage claims. Like I said, most people know about the actual mileage claim. Very few, I would suggest, know about the VAT back thereon. So, food for thought. If you like this video, please do subscribe, and as always, I'll see you soon.